All right, y'all, this is part 2 of everything you need to know about testosterone as promised. And today we're going to talk about, is testosterone replacement therapy actually for you? All right, because the technology is there, it exists, but it may not be for you. All right, so let's get into this. So I want to share with y'all a very alarming fact. The average man right now in 2025 or 2024 has 30% less testosterone than his grandfather did at the same age. Now let that sink in. 3 decades of decline driven by environmental toxins, sedentary lifestyles, chronic stress, and processed food have created a silent crisis in men's health. Lower testosterone levels translate to less energy, a diminished drive, slow recovery, more stubborn fat, and even brain fog. So the vitality, the strength, the sharpness that once defined masculinity is gone. It's slipping through the cracks. But here's the good news. While this decline might be common, it doesn't have to be your story. Now, aging, we can't stop that. That's inevitable. But operating at half capacity is not. And today I'm going to break down what testosterone replacement therapy is, or TRT. Now, for the record, I am not promoting it, but I'm also not speaking against it. I'm just going to give y'all some real information, real science, and actionable insights that might help you. I really want you to have more clarity about whether TRT is a step that you need to take or to avoid. So let's look at modern men's health. Let's look at this real reality check. Testosterone is the fuel for your body's energy. It keeps everything running smoothly. And when it dips, so does your performance, physically, mentally, emotionally. So let me break down a rundown of everything that testosterone does in the human body. A very important one is the brain function. It gives mental clarity, it gives focus, and it regulates your mood. 2 is your energy, right? Your motivation, your stamina, all of that. Number 3 is body composition. Lean muscle, reduce body fat. Simple. 4 is bone and joint health, your strength and your stability. 5, very important as well, is cardiovascular health, endurance, just overall heart health. 6 is your sleep quality, self-explanatory. 7 is your stress resilience, your emotional stability when you're under pressure. And 8 is your immune system, your defense against illness. Low testosterone exposes you to not have any of those safeguards in place, right? When testosterone declines, all of these systems start falling out of sync, right? So here are some of the symptoms of low testosterone. It's a very slow burn. The decline is never dramatic, right? It's a slow creep that most men brush off until it feels overwhelming. So if you train, you'll start feeling like your workouts feel very draining instead of like empowering. Your recovery takes way longer than it used to. You're not able to burn fat, right? Fat is beginning to accumulate where muscles used to be on your body. You're starting to have mental fog. It's hard for you to focus. You're being more moody. Some say you're acting like a bitch. I mean, that's the scientific term, but I don't know. Your drive and ambition becomes just non-existent. It's hard for you to sleep. You wake up at every little sound. When you do sleep, it's not very effective. It's not deep, meaningful sleep. And you don't feel very confident. Does that sound familiar? A lot of people will call that just normal aging, but fuck all that, right? Normal ain't always acceptable, okay? So in regards to considering TRT, there is a decision that you have to make, right? You cannot skip the foundation, okay? Now, before you take TRT, there's work that has to be done. This is Mando, all right? You gotta think of it like you're preparing the soil before planting seeds. TRT works best when it builds on a solid foundation of optimized health, right? So if you're doing all the things already, or you're doing all the things first, it's gonna really benefit you in a very profound way. So step number 1, you have to build the lifestyle foundation. Now remember this is a fact. Your body can produce testosterone naturally, that's ideal, but you have to give it the proper tools. So my advice is to focus on these areas for 6 to 12 months before jumping right into therapy. And number 1 is very basic, but it's very important. You have to prioritize your sleep. You have to get 7 to 9 hours in complete darkness. Stick to a consistent sleep schedule. Avoid screens like your phone at least an hour before you go to bed. And keep your room cool, 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what I do. I love it. You're gonna find yourself kind of chilly, so you're gonna bundle up and you just sleep sound. Don't even move throughout the night. Number 2 is mastering your nutrition. Just stick to the basics. So for instance, with protein, you wanna consume 1 gram per pound of lean mass. Healthy fats, anywhere in between 30 to 35% of your daily calories should be that. Focus on whole, micronutrient dense foods. Stay hydrated. Drink half your body weight in ounces of water daily and put some hydroglyph in that water because that's real hydration. Number 3, train smarter, all right? Use compound movements, your squats, your deadlifts, shoulder press or bench press. Push for progressive overload, but balance intensity with recovery. That's very wise to do. You need a protocol, right? I can help you on that. We'll talk about that later. Minimize excessive cardio. It can hinder your testosterone production. You want to do cardio, but you don't want to overdo it, okay? Number 4 is managing your stress. Meditate, breathe, go outside, get some sunshine, some fresh air. Spend time with people who energize you. Also engage in activities that bring purpose and meaning to your life. And number 5, clean up your environment, right? You want to reduce the amount of plastic you use to avoid endocrine disruptions. Drink filtered water and get natural sunlight every day. Now listen, this is a minimum investment in your health that you should be doing on the regular before hopping on therapy, all right? And then you want to take it another step after you're doing that, and that's your medical investigation or like getting blood work and stuff like that, right? Once your lifestyle is all the way dialed in, it's time to get the data, okay? Comprehensive blood work is very important for you to understand exactly where you are, where you stand. So what you want to ask for is a hormone panel, okay? Write this down. The things that you want to get checked is your SHBG, that's sex hormone binding globulin, estradiol, DHT, FSH, LH, prolactin, cortisol, and then health markers like vitamin D, a lipid panel, thyroid function, PSA, that's your prostate specific antigen, especially if you're over 40, complete blood count, and have them check your inflammation markers. Without this information, you're not making an informed decision, and that is not wise, and I recommend you don't do that. Don't be stupid, all right? Now, also the next thing you wanna do is you have to have an honest self-assessment, right? Because TRT is not a shortcut. It's literally a lifelong commitment. So you gotta ask yourself, have I truly optimized my lifestyle? Am I doing all the things? And if you have symptoms, are they affecting your life, right? You know, are you ready for regular monitoring and medical appointments? Can you handle the financial responsibility? Have you considered, you know, having kids and family planning? And are you willing to commit to long-term consistency? And if you can't confidently answer these questions, time to revisit step 1. Now, let's get into some of the realities that you need to know. If TRT feels like it's the right thing for you, here are some very realistic things that you can expect. How you're gonna get it into your body. Number 1 is injections. That's the most reliable, most cost-effective method, and it's the healthier method as well. 2 is gels or cream. It's easier to use, but it's not very consistent. 3 is pellets. You can inject pellets in your body. That way you don't have to inject yourself. You don't have to think about it. It does it automatically, time release. Very long lasting, but it's not very flexible. So let's say if it's not enough, you kind of stuck with what you got for now. All right, and think about the commitment that has to be made, right? So it's regular blood work, that's every 3 to 6 months. Consistent administration, so that's weekly injections or daily creams. You might have side effects, so you have to manage those side effects, like balancing your estrogen levels. And there's long-term costs like the medication, the monitoring, and the supplies. Now, here's what TRT can and cannot do, all right? I just wanna be realistic with y'all. This is what it can do. It will restore energy, restore your vitality, enhance your focus. It's going to improve your muscle mass. It'll reduce fat. It'll stabilize your mood and increase your confidence. It will enhance your sleep and your recovery. It will reignite any kind of drive and ambition that you were missing. It will give you the type of anger to where you'll push people through walls, flip tables over on motherfuckers and shit like that. That's a joke, but maybe. Now, here's what it won't do. It will not fix poor habits, all right? It will not deliver overnight results. It can't replace proper nutrition and training, and is not gonna work without your active commitment. So if you're not gonna be doing the things, once again, don't even waste your time, all right? Now here's the real world expectations, right? In regards to the benefits of TRT. Now this is over time. So from months 1 through 3, you will feel subtle improvements in your energy and your focus. Your recovery be a little bit faster. From month 3 to 6, visible changes in your body composition and your strength. Month 6 through 12, that's when you'll experience the full benefits that takes hold as the protocols are optimized. It's not a quick fix. This is a long game that requires patience and discipline. So the final question is, are you ready? Because TRT is not for everyone. It's a very powerful tool for those who've done the work, for those who's doing the work, and they've asked themselves the hard questions and they're ready to take responsibility. That's who TRT is for, all right? The real question isn't just, is TRT right for me? But am I ready to commit to the process? So take your time, optimize your foundation, get the data, then decide with clarity and confidence, because your health, your vitality, and your quality of life is worth it. Trust me, y'all, all right? Just wanted to hit y'all with that information. A very practical look into TRT, hormone or testosterone replacement therapy, if it's for you or if it isn't. All right, I hope that helped. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.